kids. You can let me know what you think. Will it have much of an effect? Is it what you would like in your life and for the young people in your life? Dr. Julia Coffey is an Associate Professor of Sociology at the University of Newcastle and Deputy Director of the Newcastle Youth Studies Centre. Good afternoon, Dr. Coffey.
Hi, good afternoon.
Is this the right call from the government?
It's a big question. I mean, should YouTube be included? Should the social media ban be happening? Can it be properly implemented? Is it practical, tenable? These are all good questions. I mean, if we're banning social media, then YouTube is certainly a harmful platform. If it's on the basis of harm, then that certainly qualifies. It would mean that young people under 16 can't have their own account, obviously not including YouTube Kids. Obviously, young people will still be able to access YouTube on the internet. You don't need an account to watch YouTube. So again, we very quickly get into kind of practicality questions around the ban. So I think the real issue here, and the one that parents and young people are most concerned about, is the unregulation of platforms. And social media the ban is attempting to regulate social media by banning children from it. But there are a vast range of other approaches that, say, the EU is taking through their Digital Services Act to target platforms really directly and ask them to be responsible for preventing the harms that we know do occur on social media. That doesn't involve banning young people from using platforms.
Right. So, Dr. Coffey, a ban from young people in social media, as the very start of this conversation, is not the right way in your view.
No, and most experts, certainly social media scholars, social researchers nationally, have been very loud and very clear about the impracticalities and huge problems that are related to banning young people from social media. And I've signed an open letter along with many others that weren't listened to, but many of the experts you see commenting on this in the conversation today all agree that the ban itself is highly problematic and won't really be the silver bullet that the government is promising it to be for parents in terms of protecting their kids. We all want to make sure that young people's wellbeing is protected and that well-known bullying issues, for example, or exposure to harmful content is moderated or addressed. But the ban is, well, for sheer its impracticality in terms of how it will even be implemented, we're very quickly getting into seeing what some of those issues are around the flaws in age verification technology, for example, and the fact that it will just push social media use underground for young people. So as though they're not going to be accessing it anymore.
Yeah. Dr. Coffey, is there an argument to be made, though, for doing this is better than doing nothing?
There's an argument to be made for regulating platforms, absolutely, and for having much better guardrails in place for moderation and for recourse for people who are harmed by it. And the harms are very clear. So yeah, I want to be really clear on that as well. But the digital duty of care legislation that the government's also working on, I believe, is looking at the EU's Digital Services Act as a model. So, for example, in the EU at the moment, they're taking out action against TikTok this is quoting, to prevent or failing to prevent actual and foreseeable negative effects stemming from the design of the platform, including, behavioural addictions, rabbit hole effects, the same kinds of things that you can level against YouTube, and the ways that algorithmic content harmful content is pushed upon young people. So there are much more upstream approaches that could be taken into consideration that would be far more practical and useful for young people.
Right, and as that doesn't appear to be the case that's happening here, though, is it better to have this ban for young people and have a tool in the toolkit for parents? Is it better to have that than not to have that?
I know that's what the government's arguing. It's better than nothing is kind of the argument. But it remains to be seen what the impact of this will be. I doubt that it will even be able to happen effectively at all. And I think that there'll be so much. The main issues will remain in terms of the harmful content continuing to exist, it's continuing to be accessed, and also the fact also is really important that social media is a really important place of support for young people, including being access all kinds of information around issues that are important to them, around community solidarities, all kinds of support for gender diverse young people as well. So there's just this is a huge issue, right? It's a massive issue, and it's trying to be solved in a really simplistic way at the moment, which is the main problem.
So, Dr. Coffey, if better regulation on the platforms themselves is the answer, can we really trust the companies to do that effectively when, you know, they want eyeballs on content, don't they?
They do. They're hugely powerful. They want eyeballs on content, and platforms like Google in particular, with their AI technology that they're announcing recently with the Gemini AI chatbot that's designed specifically for children. Children are a key market for them. They are deliberately targeting children as a market. So this is a huge issue, right? That aspect of it is massive, and the attention must be on greater regulation and legislation for how to hold them to account, particularly with AI technologies embedded just in all search terms now and throughout all kinds of technology, which is basically just an open portal to an unregulated internet space, which contains all the kinds of harms that we're trying to, prevent through a ban. It's like a Band-Aid. It's certainly not going to do nearly enough to fix this really rapidly moving space.
Well, Dr. Coffey, I appreciate you sharing your view as somebody who works in the space, and certainly as somebody who works with young people. I'm sure we'll speak again ahead of December as this continues to evolve. Thank you.
No worries. Yeah, that'd be great. Cheers.
Thank you. Dr. Julia Coffey from the University of Newcastle, an Associate Professor of Sociology and the Newcastle Youth Studies Centre Deputy Director. What do you think?